Okay, I'd like to call this February 24th meeting to order for the City Council, and we will begin with the roll call.
Graves.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Williams. Miller.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, we need the approval of minutes.
I move to approve amendments of February 10th, 2025. Second.
Graves.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Miller.
Was I absent?
Yes.
Yes, I thought. Abstain.
Hayes.
Yes.
All right, moving on to resolutions. These are resolutions. They require one reading by title only and passage. The first one is Bill number 2025-08, and it's resolutioning about with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor. In 1998, the city closed its landfill, and as a part of that, the city was required to make sure they had funds set aside for post-closure expenses, and that was required by the Department of Natural Resources, and we've been doing that ever since, and this is an annual renewal of that, and to cover the details, Roger Haynes.
Good evening, Council. As Bruce mentioned, the city did close its sanitary landfill back in 1998. And as in previous years, city staff will submit the executed contract for obligation along with an updated financial assurance instrument to the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, noting a potential post-closure cost estimate of $86,942.24. As of September 30th, 2024, the city has $183,211.35 set in the post-closure fund, which, as you can see, is double what they anticipated the remaining post-closure cost estimate of the $86,942.24. Given the city's success of the post-closure funding mechanism, the city will be able to enter into a contract for obligation without being directed to expend funds to purchase an insurance policy naming MDNR as the additional insured for estimated post-closure expenditures. Staff does recommend council proceed with the reading by title only and passage of the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to sign the contract of obligation with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. Be glad to answer any questions.
So we must be toward the end of this, right?
We do have 8 years left, which, if you look at the math of the 1998 versus where we're at 2025, 27 years of that have passed, which you would think there'd only be 3 years left, but they have a 5-year buffer, which will take us the 8 years to go through.
We can't use part of that money somewhere else. How much do we have to not have a bond insurance policy?
I'd have to go back a few years to kind of explain this, and I don't mind doing that at all. When this was first set up, when we had the 30-year post-closure, there was a large sum of money that they said could potentially be used to take care of maintenance for that 30-year time frame. And we did not have any money set aside for that. So at that particular point in time, it would have been a potential requirement to have an insurance policy covering that potential risk of post-closure cost. Back that many years ago, we started adding 6 cents a month to every residential customer's refuse rate to start building a balance in this post-closure fund. Then we got to the point where the amount of exposure was coming down, our balance in the fund was going up to the point that we had enough money set aside that we felt like we did not need to have the insurance anymore. And we also took away or reduced the monthly residential refuse bill by that 6 cents, so we no longer have that in the rate. Since that point, the risk that's being assessed through MDNR's formula continues to go down, but the balance in our account continues to go up. The other thing that we send in is a financial insurance instrument, which shows that our financial strength, along with the balance in this account, would keep, or hopefully keep, MDNR from executing the contract for obligation, which, if you read through that, says they could intercept our revenue coming from the state to take care of any costs that might come up with the post-closure. The FAI shows that we were financially strong. If there was a problem, we will take care of the money set aside. Basically, they would just wipe out the contract for obligation because of the strength of the financial strength that the city has currently. I know I made that a really long answer, and I apologize.
Well, my question was, if you had $150,000 in there, would you have to have an insurance policy? I mean, could you spend part of it and still have, just trying to figure out ways to just not let money lay.
You could. You could.
I don't know what that number is, I'm just throwing up some kind of number. Okay.
Do I have a motion?
I move for reading of bill number 2025-08.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
yes,
Miller,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes. Bill number 2025-08, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a contract of obligation with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources regarding estimated post-closure expenditures for the City of Mexico sanitary landfill, permit number 010073. I move for passage of bill number 2025-08.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
yes,
Miller,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Okay, moving on to bill number 2025-09, a resolution authorizing the City of Mexico, Missouri to accept temporary construction easements for the North Washington Street stormwater improvement. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor. As part of this project for the stormwater, some of the work, in order to do it appropriately, is outside of the public right-of-way, so some additional easements, just temporary for construction, was necessary on this project. And to cover the details, Drew Wolford.
Well, good evening, council. I'm going to minimize my talking a little bit. I'm still battling this head cold. So we have 15 easements here that are part of this. They are all temporary. This is along North Washington Street between Allison and Robinson. And we have met with all the residents. They have signed it. There is no monetary cost to the city for any of this. So we would recommend proceeding by reading in title only, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Apologize for my breathing here.
This is something we've talked about previously. You showed on the charts and everything. Yeah.
Yep.
I move for reading bill number 2025-09.
second,
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
yes,
Miller,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes. Bill number 2025-09, a resolution authorizing city manager, Missouri, to accept temporary construction easements for the North Washington Street Stormwater Improvement Project, being part of ARPA grant DNR SWE 6A CF0D6A 299. I move for passage of bill number 2025-09.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
yes,
Miller,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Okay, we go to item C, bill number 2025-10. This is a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign change order number 1 for Plan B development on North Washington. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, as a part of the, again, for the North Washington Street stormwater project, a sanitary sewer line needs to be moved, and we've talked about this before, and it is funded as part of the grant. And to cover the details, once again, Drew Wilford.
Yeah, and council, you may recall just it was a couple meetings ago, and we presented a design cost for Bartlett and West. This is related to that. We ended up not being able to gather all of the information needed for their design to be completed. And instead of paying $18,000 for a partial design, we approached Plan B Development to get a cost, given that they are very familiar with working with the city and working with what I would say is low information, and they put together an estimate of $111,420 to reconstruct the sanitary sewer. That gets it out of the way of the storm sewer, as well as out of any kind of conflict with drinking water. There's a 10-foot separation required there. This is covered with our ARPA stormwater funds. It's nothing that's going to be an extra cost to the city. It is reimbursed at 21%, so we would recommend proceeding with reading and title only. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
I move for reading Bill 2025-10.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Pace,
Yes.
Bill number 2025-10, a resolution authorizing city manager to sign change order number 1 with Plan B Development LLC for the North Washington Street Stormwater Improvement Project, being part of ARPA grant number DNR SWE6ACFOD6A299. I move for passage of bill number 2025-10.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Pace,
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to other business, we have a staff report approving the 2025 Kraken Joint Sealing Project with Sweeten Sealing Services. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor. As part of our annual street maintenance program, we do crack and joint sealing, and this is a very cost-effective treatment as far as sealing up the streets. And this is another year of the contract, and to cover the details, Drew Wilford.
Council, you may recall we, excuse me, we ended up going with a 3-year contract in 2024, and so this will be the second year of that. We approached Sweetens essentially in December to do a review with them. All of their work was good. So we've put together a plan for 2025. This is just a staff report because we already have the contract with them, so we're requesting permission to proceed with approximately 26,500 linear feet of crack and joint sealing. That's center line feet of the street. The project is estimated to be $34,721.26. We do have enough money in the CIST fund to cover it. As Bruce mentioned, it is, I think, our best bang for the buck whenever we're talking about any kind of treatment for our roadways. So we are looking at doing an area that's roughly bounded by Jefferson Road to the south, West Street to the west, Liberty Street to the north, and then Hunting Field Drive to the east. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
I move to approve Sweeten Sealing Services for the 2025 Crack and Joint Sealing Project contract for $34,721.26.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Pace,
Yes.
Okay, next thing on the agenda is the purchase of a dump bed for a one-ton truck chassis. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor. Last council meeting, we authorized the purchase of the truck itself, and there was a couple of questions on the box. We went through that now and have a recommendation for you, and to cover that recommendation, once again, Drew Wilford.
As Bruce mentioned, we have proceeded with getting the chassis, but that led us without a bed. We had 2 options that were submitted from Beelman Automotive, and it turns out that the Reekers option is not compliant with our bid specifications. And so after reviewing the bed from Knapheide, which we have dealt with before, we are recommending to proceed with that purchase at $38,000 even. The budget allows $122,000 for the purchase of a 5500 class vehicle. We have $53,161 remaining, more than enough to cover that $38,000 for the bed. So we would recommend proceeding to authorize purchase of that bed. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
I move we purchase a dump bed for a 1-ton truck chassis from Beelman Automotive, Troy, Missouri for $38,000.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Okay, moving right along. Claims.
Move we pay claims.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Okay, council comments, and Larry, you want to start? Tell us what temperature it is in Florida?
Actually, I just want you all to appreciate the fact that I left a few days ago and it got warmer there. I think I caused that because it was darn cold when I left. And it's, today I think here it's probably 70 or 75 and rainy. So you probably got a better day there than we had here. And I really don't have anything else that I can think of.
No, well, thank us for joining us on the TV. Steve?
Nothing real exciting. Had the district wrestling was 2 days, Friday and Saturday, and heard a lot of good comments about Mexico, Missouri, because a lot of people had to stay in town. So wish we had a couple more hotels, but that would help out. But I know that everybody had a good time, and I think everybody in Mexico was hospitable to everybody that visited, and just kind of crazy. Thank you to the street department for last week getting it cleared, and now we can have our windows down today. We drive around. It's just.
Well, you may, I'm not.
Oh, okay. All right. That's it.
Okay, I really have nothing. Chris?
Nothing except if we hurry up, I can go to a basketball game.
You're excused. Go ahead. Mr. Plager. Well, he does, okay. All right, public comment, if anybody wants to speak, it's from the public. You have 3 minutes, state your name and address and approach it. If not, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
Adjourn.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Let's